that the song is on Splice, bro. If you do a mashup on the track.
Yeah, bro, but the part that says fling on your shoulder at the start, the way the second one is with the music, the rhythm, that's the same way I want it at the first one. Same way. Just copy the second one and put at the start. Yeah. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. Come in and hold your seat. Come in and hold your seat. Long time we not have a look at reasoning. We was gonna reason about Robot Man tonight, but I think me gonna allow Robot Man to go on. Boom. So you get the price of them? No, dog, that not gonna work, dog. Remember till I say use the place, the 85 place and do the drive thing, man. That's how many, dog. Yes, sir. Do you want 2 hours in this or 3 hours? And then we go up on the road with the car. No. Mm-mm. That place is nice. Just get a couch in there or something. Yeah, man. What time now? 9:05. So I have a few minutes. Yeah, so I was going to reason about a vibe. So me and Imhotep did a reason about a vibe. So I was going to reason upon that, but I watch it play out. I watch it play out because I don't want it be said that I'm supporting I just like to stay objective on matters. You understand? And once I don't want it to be misunderstood that I am even being in support of certain things. You understand? Are being sorry, I want to stay objective. I don't want to be subjective on certain things. See? Basically I want to stay neutral for an easy explanation. I want to stay neutral when it comes down to my social commentaries them. Yeah. You see? But I see a trend. And I know say, yeah. But one reason about Captain Currie Goat. Yeah. One reason about Captain Chief Currie Goat. I find I find Chief Currie Goat is the new, is like the new LA Lewis. Chief Currie has become the new LA Lewis. Big up yourself, LA Lewis, my brother. Yeah. The Chief Currie basically is has kicked LA Lewis, the LA Lewis character to the curve and has become the new LA Lewis. Yeah. Now, the other day an article came out, yeah, in the Observer where um, a set of the Maroons apologized for their ancestors or our ancestors, because the Maroons, contrary to what them I try teach, and what them I try proliferate, the Maroons are actually our ancestors. So this rubbish about Maroon sovereign and they are a first people and that it's all rubbish, people. It's all rubbish. Whether we are African people, whether people want to argue that some of us were here before colonization, we know so the Tainos them and the natives them, the Indian people them, you know, they lived in the Americas before the colonization era. So we know that, we know people were living and they were dark skinned people. You see? They were dark skinned people. So we know these things. Yeah. So when somebody try to make the argument that, oh, we are different from the other, Africans or the other Jamaicans or whatever, it's all rubbish and nonsense. And people are just doing that to have some form of importance, I guess. Or them feel like if them divide themselves up, or if we are divided, we are stronger. But let me point something out to you. The Jamaican Maroons, especially the way the Accompong Maroons are operating now with Captain Currie. The Jamaican Maroons, a majority of the Jamaican Maroons are the only set of Maroons around the world that think that they are supposed to just fight for a small section of the population of black people. If you notice all in Ohio and those places, because I did some research on even the Maroons in Ohio, them get containers and like open parks, like parking lots, vacant parking lots, excuse me. Them get containers from the shipping company and they build like theater and they build gyms and places where people can have use them spare time and enjoy certain activities. Them have Zumba, them have classes, them have agricultural classes, them teach people how to farm, how to plant the organic food, how to create gardens and make gardens just in small areas instead of having a big farm. Show people how they can cultivate their own food. That is, and this is like, a set of Maroon people from Africa where, in Ohio, they make it them point of duty to service the community, not just a little section because them are Maroons. This nonsense that Maroons supposed to just be some people who run in our hill. And, so Captain Currie had an opportunity to stand with Jamaican people in the fight for equality and justice and all the nonsense that is going on where people are not privileged to enjoy even the beaches. Like in many countries, or in a lot of Caribbean countries, they don't sell the beaches to the highest bidders. It is beyond me how. And my brother Himotep did a reason upon this. It's beyond me how a non-profit organization, the Red Cross, is in Jamaica and supposed to be doing humanitarian work, but yet still their name, according to reports and people that I spoke to, because I've been doing investigation on this whole beach thing down Potosico, down Discovery Bay. I've been speaking to many people. As I speak to people who are in favor of the Red Cross and the man who won juice beef and all them. I speak to people where spoke to people where I stand with the people them. I spoke to people who said the people them need to clean up the beach themselves and the people them don't clean the beach, keep the beach clean. And I spoke to people who said the people them, the black people them on the beach, them divisive and against each other. Which is something we really, really need to work on as black people. But all in all, what I'm trying to say is there are so many social issues that we have that a man like Currie Goat, Zane, came on the scene and the people them took a liking to him. But before you use that opportunity, because you cannot speak to people unless you have them attention, before you use the opportunity now, you should have used this opportunity and try to bond us together, try to unite us together, because it's not everybody will listen to you. You see Jamaica, especially Jamaican people. When them take on to you, you can't, them will listen to you. Like them will listen to, I'm not calling name. Yeah. Let me just start about Captain Currie Goat. Yeah. But you understand me, I say. So Captain Currie Goat had an opportunity to really, really do something. Zin? Excuse me. Yo. Boom. They can't link me. More see them and see how them dance to the tune and them thing there. Send the tune to them and make them send me some quick snippet that I can choose, please. Yeah, please. Yeah, sorry about that, people. Work, Work. Yeah. So what may I say is, this young man had an opportunity to reach the Jamaican people because trust me, we're stubborn, Trust me, we're gullible, But when them take on to somebody, then will follow the person. Like me know there was an artist where if the artist said don't drink no Guinness, nobody know want to drink no Guinness. If the artist said no tight pants, no, the artist say, yo, no this, no that, no bowcat. Excuse me. People them follow. So some people will conform to certain character. So when Captain Currie Goat came on the scene, Captain Currie Goat had a chance. And the reason why we end up knowing about Captain Currie Goat is through Daniel them and even L.A. Lewis. L.A. Lewis make we know about Captain Currie Goat. And then Captain Currie Goat had a standoff with the police them and the people them start talk about him. And then of course the peacock syndrome kicked in and the whole of the woman them now start want be the sole provider for Captain Currie Goat. So of course, but the opportunity was there. But what Captain Currie Goat do? Captain Currie Goat further divided the people them in his rhetoric, in arrogance, and his arrogance now is showing out on full display to the point where he is blocking people from his page when I agree with what I say. And now he's disabling his comments. Because now people are actually seeing what I have been always saying. People seeing it now. You see, there are so many things that I've said in the past. And them come back now and people are look back and I say, yo, Vegas, you remember when I did say this? Remember when I told you that Jamil singing song about third eye, just give him look at time? You remember that, right? I mean, it's not a prophet, but I'm you to think critical. It might sound foolish at the time when I say it. It might not make sense. Let me tell you, say, Robot Man is trying to sow seeds of, war seeds are uprising in Jamaica. And watch it. There's going to be more violence and bloodshed in Jamaica based on what Robot Man is doing. And you're going to come one day and I'm going to talk about it and you're going to say, yo, Vegas did say this. You understand me? I say Robot Man is trying to go about his way of fixing Jamaica in my opinion, the wrong way. It's very counterproductive. You understand me? I say? But you see, when the sheep them a go one way and the sheep them bungle up, you have to just allow them and make them go on. But just watch it. Because we so badly want Jamaica to fix up where, we accept anything blindly. But just look, there's gonna be more bloodshed. Yeah, and of course, more bloodshed means more YouTube videos. Yeah, so. But what may I say is this whole thing with Currie Goat. I saw it from early out. Me say, yo, this man here is arrogant. He might try be this world boss or this world maroon boss where he's known worldwide, and he's going about it the wrong way because he could have been known as a freedom fighter or a fighter for justice on the whole Jamaica and a whole for Jamaica and a whole. Never have to come and call our ancestors them criminals and fugitives and talk nonsense about they could have, they had the opportunity to join the Maroons, but they did not. You see? So he had an opportunity. So why may I talk about this again now? Now look at this. Look at this on your screen. You see? Look at this. And I'm going to show you how Captain Currie Goat is into his feelings about this. Maroons finally say sorry, right? Indigenous group regrets bloody takedown of slave uprisings on behalf of British colonialists 283 years after. Seeing? It took almost 3 centuries, but on Good Friday 2022, the Maroons of Jamaica apologized for their sordid role in crushing popular anti-slavery uprisings and forcibly returning runaway slaves to hellish conditions on British-owned sugar plantations. So in the story history, right? Now, this maybe this year when they've said the Maroons of Jamaica apologize. This is misleading because it's not all the Maroons them apologized, and this is interesting, right? So this is causing issues because not all the Maroons them think say them should apologize on behalf of the people them that them model themselves off. You see what I say? It's like slave master Pitney. I say it's not we used to enslave you, so why should we apologize? You understand? No, you're apologizing because you acknowledge, say, you know what? Every did go on. You apologize because you see it's a time for healing. You apologize because you say, yo, this was wrong. You apologize because you realize, say, you take on the title and the whatever, the banner of some people where did your own people wrong. And you subscribe to it for years and act as if you did not hear the cry of the people and ignore the history, the written history, with your oral history. When nobody can prove if it's goes right, no goes so. There's the 2 or more well-known black rebellions put down by the British colonial forces with the solid support of the Maroons were that led by West African slave chief Taki of St. Mary in 1760 and Baptist Deacon Paul Bogle of Stonygut in St. Thomas 1865. Now, I told you about this already. This was the rebellion. This rebellion was supposed to make Jamaica be the first place or territory to overthrow the colonizers them. And this would have set a precedent worldwide. And it's hypothetical, but if we look back at all the people that stood up and fought, yeah. If we had united together as a nation of black people and go against the colonizers, then maybe they would not be in the situation where they're in currently by controlling the whole earth and decide when you eat, when you sleep, when you drink, and what kind of laws are laws that you should not break and laws that they can break, and how they can go around the world and do whatever they want to do. And when somebody else do it, them come by like, I them want you to get into your feelings and be putting up hashtags about pray for this and pray for that. So Taki, yeah, and Ikua, yeah, the true freedom fighter is Ikua or Akua or Cuba. What we don't learn about in the history book. But because them kill her. Them kill her another uprising here because she got link up with Taki them. She used to be out of Port Royal because she did there with one, she did there with a brother named Cuban, think Cuban Cornwallis or something like so the man name. The man had her as a slave, then started having sex with her and fell in love with her and gave her a piece of property out of Port Royal. And she became like a medicine doctor. So she started healing the people that came in, the British them that came into the country, even the one of the top British men, the Prince are one of them. I think the Prince came in with scurvy and she healed him. So she was actually a free woman. Yeah. She joined the rebellion and they killed her in that uprising here. And we tell them teach about Nanny, where we still can't find a grave for she, but we'll find a grave them for the slaves them up at Yui, the mass grave up at the University of the West Indies. But we can't find nothing for Nanny. If say she even existed, and if she existed, she would have been a traitor to black people. So how come she became a national hero? Is a heroine is beyond me. Because she's not supposed to be a hero. If she existed, she a traitor. Or she would have been a traitor. It's nonsense. Yeah? Or this legend that she used to catch bullet with her body. It's rubbish. It's all nonsense that she caught bullet with her bottom. Yeah? So if Nanny was a real person, Nanny would have been a sellout against African people that worked with the colonizers. So how come she be national hero? But we know that Nanny never exists. That is the reason why Norman Manley asked the professor up at Mona to go investigate if Nanny really existed. You see? He's actually a man from up the Maroon, region. The Windward, a man from the Windward Maroon claimed that Nanny existed and wanted to give her some form of status in Jamaica. And they let a one professor did a research on her and say, oh yeah man, she was a real person. But nothing from the research. Where the evidence from the research? Where the footnotes, the field notes? Where are the field notes from the research? What are the findings? So the research cannot be valid if we don't have anything to substantiate the argument. We have no proof that Nanny existed. You see? So Bogle and his key ally, George William Gordon, was hanged, but later named National Heroes of Jamaica. So imagine them name Paul Bogle. Listen to this, how this foolish will Nanny even be a hero or a heroine. Why Nanny is the biggest piece of rubbish. But of course, we are dealing with fool people, so they must accept anything. Bogle and George William, these were freedom fighters, Nanny was returning slaves. Because the only way she could have coexisted with the British them and stayed a free woman as a Maroon, she'd have to work with the British them. There is no history of Nanny free in any slave. So this is the apology. We regret the hurt and sufferings caused from our actions. We take total responsibility on behalf of our ancestors, said Paramount Chieftainess and Queen of the Maroons, Gama Gloria Mama G. Sims. The woman now occupying the seat once held by Nanny. Is it? So she occupied a seat that was held by Nanny, Queen of the Maroons, the only female among the 7 national heroes. No, this is Mama G. All right? Mama G said we realize that we cannot undo the past, but we can remedy the situations through reconciliatory actions that will repair the damage and rebuild trust. So these behaviors will not be repeated, said the Maroon spiritual leader in a press statement, which is a great piece. This is it. Because if you fail to know your history, you're bound to repeat it. So Mama G, I said, listen to me. We realize that we cannot undo the past, but we can remedy the situations through reconciliatory actions that will repair the damage and rebuild trust. Trust. The Maroon Queen, a tireless campaigner for the rights of indigenous people, used the platform of the Jamaica Observer to express the long-awaited mea culpa days before, if I pronounce, days before she journeys to the United Nations to represent diaspora and Jamaica indigenous people, Maroons. So you switch past, Mama G is doing work. Mama G is putting in work. You switch past, Mama G went to the United Nations to represent diaspora and Jamaica. Listen. This is the work of Mama G are doing, United Nations. And this is a journey to represent diaspora and Jamaican indigenous people, Maroons and other African retention communities and the Taino tribe at the Permanent Forum of Indigenous Issues. Well, Chief, you know who did not go to this this thing? I think this is where they went and meet the Pope. You know who didn't go? Captain Currie got. Because all of the celebrity friends them and celebrity when having them corner, them couldn't get him a ticket. I'm not a Jamaican. Oh, I'm not a Jamaican passport. So this is look at Mama G's resume. Founder of the Maroon listen to this, Founder of the Maroon Indigenous Women's Circle. She will be part of a delegation which includes representatives from Trinidad and Tobago, Belize, Dominica, Suriname, Sierra Leone, and Jamaica, made up of professors, human rights lawyers, and academics from international universities. Listen to this, People, this is important for me. Me not tell you not about robot man. This is important. This is important for us to pay attention to. You see? So the archives of the National Library of Jamaica describe the Maroons as enslaved Africans and people of African descent who ran away from their masters or owners in search of freedom dating back to 1655. At the time of the Tainos and Africans who were freed by the Spanish occupiers took to remote parts of the island to refuge from the English invasion. So we know about that. But blah, 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 blah. Yeah? This is Chief Taki. Seeing Taki who launched a rebellion. Right? This is a depiction of him. So the timing of Queen Gloria's heartfelt apology on behalf of the Maroons appear to have been prompted by the declaration of Chief Taki Day. You see? In a commemoration signed by the Governor General at the behest of a cultural minister, Oliver Babsy Green. So them actually honor Taki. You remember when we first talk about these people that tell me say foolishness me did that. I was the one, people. Listen me, y'all need to give me a rose, Go back and check, I was the one who I brought Taki into the conversation when I told you that the Maroons them killed Taki, before even nobody had talked about this, You remember I told you about the whole, because I did have in-depth research on the thing. See them acknowledging it now. Remember I told you a long time about how Taki took over the whole of the sugar cane and take out the guns them and found the ammunitions them and had the white man them on them heels. And when we were about to get freedom, the Maroons them capture Taki and cut off him head and carry to the white man. And then them carry the other uprisers them downtown and hang them up on a parade. I told you about it. You don't believe me. You never believe me. One day you will. All right, so the Maroon Paramount chieftains who said, we must continue to honor the sacrifices and bravery of those who fought. Embrace the Taki Day declaration as truly befitting in this time. So it was a perfect opportunity for her to acknowledge that, you know what? Efri did go on. Because if we did join with Taki as the Maroons them should have joined with Taki when Taki had the Europeans and the British them on them heels. You see? And Jamaica is so fruitful. Would that be the place? Listen, but we can't say coulda, woulda, shoulda. We don't know. But the fact that we don't know, you see, we can't just dismiss it. You see? Because if we had nothing and survived, what if we had something? Remember when they quote unquote gave us freedom, they gave us nothing. They had us in apprenticeship. They didn't even give us our freedom and say, go on. They had us in apprenticeship to work off the money where the British state bought us for from the individual owners. So they gave us nothing. So just imagine if we had a start where we could negotiate the sale of sugar. Because the Europeans, them couldn't live without the sugar and the coffee. And we had the fertile soil. And we have the aluminum. And we had gold. And we have water. So we would have set a precedent, So for Miss G to come forward now and acknowledge this is something that should be a unanimous thing within the whole Maroon community. You see? So she said, it is time for us to bring the spirit of Sankofa to bear, to go back and fetch what is left behind to restore. It is time to repair and heal. Therefore, as a spiritual leader of the Maroons, I declare April 8th annually as National Reconciliation and Truth. Let me say that again. April 8th annually. She want to do this on a yearly basis. On a yearly basis, she want to honor our ancestors because it's her ancestors as well. As National Reconciliation and Truth Day in recognition of all atrocities done in the history that involved Maroons. And as our elders would say, when trouble take you, pitney shot fit you. Yet, here, who is that? Who is that? Here goes Captain Currie Goat. Here goes Captain Currie Goat. So exactly 262 years ago this month, Chief Taki began his short-lived rebellion in St. Mary that was brutally put down by the British without the support of with the support of the Maroons. See it? Let me tell you about this. Go back and check on the history on the file them. I go through the thing and search. Me telling about Taki. Aqua. Ikua. Cuba Cornwallis. Me telling you. Taki was setting up Jamaica to be the first rebellious state. And that's why Bookman runway. You see? It was brutally put down by the British with the support of the Maroons. But not before catapulting him into the history of those who fought to make Jamaica independent and inspiring the Haitian Revolution that gave the world its first Black Republic. Because Bookman run away from the Maroons them, where chase him down, and end up over Haiti. And him tell the Haitians them say, yo, we try a thing at Jamaica, and it nearly work, So we could try it over here. And them try it. Him first dead in the war. But we not talk about him. How comes Bookman is not a national hero, but Nanny is? We used to return slaves. If she was alive, if she was a real person. But Nanny is a myth. So we know that. On Easter Monday, April 7, 1960, Chief Taki and his followers launched a fierce but bloody uprising that claimed the lives of white masters and overseers of the frontier plantation and culminated in the capture of Port Maria, the parish capital, from British colonial forces. The man actually take one of the port them with the whole of the sugar cane and whole of the gun and the whole of the gunpowder. Ironically, the rebels were inspired by the First Maroon War that also occurred in Jamaica from 1728 to 1740, led by Queen Nanny and the Maroons of the Maroons. However, the success of the Maroon War and the signing of their peace treaty with the British eventually helped bring about the downfall of Tacky's rebellion. In her statement to the Sunday Observer, the Maroon Queen appeared to suggest that the British should also be held accountable, which is true, arguing that in their struggle for peaceful freedom, the Maroons signed an agreement with the British to suppress rebellions and return escapees from slavery, among other terms set out in the Treaty of 1739. This aspect of our history has left behind lingering wounds that must be addressed, and through a truth and reconciliation process, this Chief Tacky Day, right? And next year, family, let us celebrate this day next year, please. Don't let it be just a little headline in our paper. We need to celebrate this day next year. Yeah, very much so. I hope I can put on a concert soon in a Jamaica called Taki Fest. Yeah, it's very important. I hope I can do something like that. Right? This Chief Taki Day declaration comes from the Governor General, whose role is to represent the same ruling power that wrote the Maroon Treaty. Listen to this, this is key again, information, right? Because we are dissect this thing, You just pay attention. We're going to come back to this, Just mark note of it. This Chief Taki Day declaration comes from the Governor General, whose role is to represent the same ruling power that wrote the Maroon Treaty. You hear that? Whose power is to what? To represent the same ruling power that wrote the Maroon Treaty, which is who? The British. Which clauses that demand them to suppress rebellions and capture and escape the escapes enslaved. This was a conflict of interest and remains a hurtful scar on our history. Let us, as liberators and freedom fighters, take responsibilities from what our ancestors have done. Let us move to heal the rifts. Gamang Sims urge, and this is Mamaji. Excuse me. She said that in observing the history of the past, it was also important to recognize the present state of crime and violence in Jamaica, in the homes and everywhere. So you can read this yourself, right? The Maroons divided into two groupings. The Windward and Leeward Maroons maintain vibrant communities such as Rere, blah, blah, blah. Notice the Akompong Maroons, led by controversial Chief Currie, right? So notice on this day, what you notice on this day? On this day, the day when one of the major fighting forces to grace the soil of Jamaica, one of the major fighting forces, right, is being celebrated. But notice, nothing from Currie Goat. You realize that? You realize Currie Goat don't put out a statement, or have not put a statement out, or any form of comment on Chief Tacky Day, because him still thinks the Maroons' actions to bring down Tacky and the other brother them and stop the rebellion was valid. In my view, because you allow a lady, Mama G, to take the lead on this, and you were supposed to be the face of the Maroons. You don't put out a statement, whether you object or not. But we're going to show him how him subliminally, or how him in some way going against what Mama G has stood for. Let me show you. Let me show you the repercussion of what Mama G did. Listen to me. Me don't try to be right to anybody. If me say something and you think say it don't make sense, I saw you go. Me not try get nobody if he thinks me right and whatever. But let me show you something. Let me show you something. Guys, this is important. Look at this. Let's look at the screen. Look at this. Look at this. Let's look at the screen. Look at this. This is this is Mama G getting her payback. This is the retaliation to Mama G apologizing to her fellow African brothers and sisters for what her fellow African brothers and sisters did to them. Because she saw the Taki rebellion that was thwarted by the Maroons as significant. You understand? In the history of where we're coming from as a people. But this is the retaliation from Captain Currie Goat. Me tell you a long time, say Captain Currie Goat, but when you jump up, me see people all tell me, all people close to me, and say, how them can't wait to go meet him. And of course, the peacock syndrome take over. And so everybody saw Captain Currie Goat as a true warrior. A true warrior. Who welcomed the queen, the princess and the prince, and gave them red carpet, and them didn't even acknowledge him because his state did not have any security to take care of them. So this is from Captain Currie Goat. This is not Maroon division. This is number sign truth. Hashtag truth. Being told in order to save a hashtag nation and its hashtag culture from a hidden hand operating in the shadows. Mama G is a hidden hand operating in the shadows. A lady who organized women's group throughout the Caribbean, who was appointed as a chieftain by the Suriname Maroons. Captain Currie Goat, our Chief Currie Goat, is saying, in my opinion, Mama G is operating in the shadows. The reality is that not one single Maroon community has had a township town hall meeting towards electing Gloria Mama G Sims as their Maroon Queen. This Captain Currie Goat now is going to come and tell you, after Mama G had been in the seat for how many years, Captain Currie Goat coming now to tell you, and he's tagging the United Nations and the UN Jamaica, to tell them that Mama G was not appointed via a town hall. Election process. I want you to understand something here. This is quote unquote a sovereign state messing with another sovereign state. Quote unquote sovereign state. This is the Akompong Maroon chief meddling in the election of another Maroon region. This is the payback because Mama G came out and apologized, people. That is the reason why he called your ancestors criminals and fugitives and talk about they had some form of extradition treaty with the British. And that's why he's coming out quoting and reciting from the treaty that they claim Kojo signed in 1738-39. That's the reason why he's living by the treaty. But this is the respect we have for Uno. Uno, we talk about Uno get peacock syndrome. Uno, we turn man groupie. Uno, we say on our artists outside with Captain Currie Goat. This is what him tell you. This is the payback for, because Mama G apologized for the actions taken by the sellout them, which is our African brothers and sisters them too. Look, the fact The fact is that all Maroon communities operate off pure democracy in which every single Maroon has a voice, but yet still is meddling in another territory's election. The reality is that we are not against apologies. You see this? You see that? Uno see that? Uno see where it come from? The reality is we are not against apologies for our reconciliation. It hurt him so in bad. It hurt him so bad. This little Currie goat, Currie mutton, brother will come out of nowhere. It hurt him so bad that Mama G apologized. That the man now is pointing out that she has never been appointed by any votes. The reality is that there is no official position called Paramount Chieftainess or Queen of the Maroons. Nanny was called a queen based on her individual influence. That is who you subscribe to. Because even if Nanny was a real person, it wouldn't be just because of her influence why she was appointed queen. You better hear it say because she catch bullet with her body. Now him want come tell us say Mama G was not appointed by the people. After the woman go around the world, or the lady going around the world, fighting for indigenous people and trying to build up women so they can represent in the way how they should represent. You see that? So instead, the reality is that we are not against apologies or reconciliation, but we are against acts of representation for people who do not know her as a leader. So this man is upset that she apologized and I represent people who don't have her as a leader. The reality is there is no official position called Paramount Chieftainess or Queen of the Maroons. Nani was called queen based on her individual influence. Each community is independent. You see, each community is independent. So why are you meddling in the election? But we unite for our common defense. So now him want unite for them common defense. But who can speak on behalf of the Akompong Maroons? Can Windward Town Maroons tell people in Akompong or get people who are influential to support electors or candidates up in Akompong? How would you feel if Mama G now get all of the celebrities them to start campaign for her and campaign against you when your election time come around? How you that feel if Mama G now start get people from all over the world for campaign against you when you are run for election? You would have said division then at the Maroon thing, right? So when you attack all of the celebrities, them the one them where you are friend with, or where I look friend from you, or where I try to be cool with you, or where I try to be cool with, or whatever it is. When you attack them, if you go against Mama G, what is that? Nanny does indeed have successors amongst the people of Rio Grande Valley, are actually blood descendants. This man I tell we say, just listen me, man, people, and stop play. Captain Currie Goat is telling us that Nanny, the Maroon, have successors amongst the people of Rio Grande Valley, are actually blood descendants. People, me give anybody $200,000 to give me a blood sample where match Nanny won. Anybody, 200,000 to give me a blood sample where match Nanny won. Hold on. So, what kind of blood Nanny could have so? Where only one set of black people would have be related to her? So my blood wouldn't match up with Nanny blood if Nanny was a real person. No, no, you cannot make this up. This is where uno run go subscribe to it. This is where ignorance lead with to. This Captain Currie goat, I tell we now say you can do a blood test for Nanny to differentiate her from me. Yeah. So watch this now. Mama G is not a descendant of Nanny and does not occupy Nanny's seat. Captain Currie goat is saying a black woman, an African descendant, is not a descendant of Nanny. Just check. Just listen, me naman. Me do ano ni naman. Me do ano ni about this as my dear naman. Just to put the level of disrespect where the man just lay down. Just look at the level of disrespect. So if Nanny was a real person, why would Mama G not be a descendant of her? Why wouldn't I be a descendant of her? Why wouldn't every why no what? What? So we white. So we are one different race of people then. So now you get back to the point where me I try to tell you no, say Captain Currie Goat thinks that he is different from the other Negroes. Let's check it no man. Let's check one man. But in right, Mama G is not a descendant of Nanny because Nanny never exists. But let us go with the myth. See? Let's go with the myth. Now watch you know. Check stock. Check stock. Look at this. Chief Captain Currie. He is no longer the Okonkpong Maroon here. He's now the Moortown chief. Because I tell you already, say Captain Currie Goat is trying to usurp power because he now wants to be the face of the Maroons worldwide. So slowly but surely, somebody give him a little piece of taste of glory, a little piece of butter upon his mouth, and now he reached the point where he can disrespect Mama G. And upon him status now say him is chief of Moortown, which is not a Kongpong. I want everyone to check where I go on. So you see clearly when we tell the other day, say, I try usurp power. You see this now. That's why I'm also against the man that we're going to meet with the people. Them. The environmental people, them, where him never want to meet with, according to information. The meeting when him come out, come ball, say the man then go meet with people behind him back. It wasn't no prime minister, the people then go meet with him. It was the environmental people them who are try solve the environmental issues. But in come ball out, say the man them sell him out, when nothing never go so. Because him want to what? Be the man. So look at this. Queen Nanny, legendary Maroon chieftainess, is a 1-hour documentary film on the most celebrated but least recognized heroines in the resistance history of the New World. This is the story of an incredible resistance movement in Jamaica Maroons, led by the indomitable 18th century military genius, Queen Nanny, national hero of Jamaica, from the mountain of stronghold and blah, 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 blah. Who is this little girl? Who is this right as well? Who do you think this is? Watch your screen. Watch your screen. Just watch your screen. Well, this time, distance himself and another maroon group. Check this out. 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 You see that? Better no see. You see that? This little girl is what Captain Currie is putting up against Mama G. This is the 19-year-old. You see what I'm saying? This is the real successor to Nanny. Because he want to appoint this little, get them to appoint this little 19-year-old girl. So him can have full power over the Windward Maroons. You can't make this up. Because this are the retaliation for what Mama G did. For what Mama G went and did on the day of Taki's day. On Taki's day. Apologize. Captain Currie is so upset that the lady apologized, that he's trying to oust her and represent her, replace her, excuse me, with a 19-year-old little girl. Just, you can't make this up. Because now, if them appoint her, him can get the control over the Windward Maroons them affairs as well. That is the reason why you see him welcome the hexadecaroon, excuse me. The hexadecaroon, them when invite into the place the other day, talk about these are our first brothers and sisters. You never see the Europeans them when we meet with the other day, call them, I say them as some farmer, whatever, relative. I call them him relative, some hexadecaroon them. Yeah. In other words, some very light. Some very light maroons. You never see they in big them up. I call them, these are our first people. Eh? Leon McIntyre, Andrew Holness government is doing more damage to Jamaica, more, I guess, yesterday than Richard Currie. In a couple of months, you will hear what happened in Jamaica. Mr. Vegas, you don't have no respect for Currie Goat. You will be speaking some truth, but that don't give you rights to hate the brother. Why you don't try talk to Currie Goat one-on-one? Next time, if you get the opportunity before me to speak to Currie Goat, my platform is open to Currie Goat. Right? If you get the opportunity to speak to Currie Goat before me, ask him why him call our ancestors them criminals and fugitives. Maybe we can start there. You see? Maybe we can start there. You maybe can ask him why he's so proud of the treaty. Why he's so proud of the treaty that on the day when the colonizers were coming to Jamaica, he recited parts of the treaty in honoring them and welcoming them to Jamaica. And them no shit pan him when them reach. Why you not talk about that? Maybe we need to talk about that. Is that we need to discuss. You see? You want to discuss my disrespect. But speak about how impose up the treaty and him and breadfruit thinks it's a good idea to post up the treaty in welcoming the presence of the colonizers them. Talk about that. That's what you need to talk about. You have to talk about my disrespect. You see? You see that? It's my disrespect you catch on to. Yeah? And my disrespect catch you. But you never did see when he post up the treaty. You never did see when he send out all the praises to the colonizers them. And I post the treaty. You never see that? What a year. Anyway, this is the replacement to Mama G.
And very little has been written about her historically.
I am Nanny. I am Nanny. I am Nanny. I am Nanny.
She is the replacement to Mama G. I she put up to come host Mama G, if you take down Mama G. It's a good girl. Because she can blow the sitting there. When they call it, when they call her, the Abeng, I say her name. Or the hand, I don't know her name. Nobody hold me accountable. Because she can. That's it. I am Nanny. I am Nanny. So him can do a blood test on her to prove that she's a descendant of Nanny. But there's no blood test him can do on anybody else, Mama G or anybody else. I'm sorry of the disrespect, Captain Currie. No, you are Dr. Currie. See, this is the payback because Mama G apologized. There was no argument about Mama G before the apology, you know. But because that is the reason why I'm saying he's not against apologies and reconciliation. He's against people representing the Maroons whenever that were not chosen. In other words, he might tell us say he was chosen to be the chief. You see that? So I am Nanny. There is no evidence of any Nanny existing. But she is Nanny. But let's go with the myth. Let's go with the myth. This is the real successor to Nanny. You hear that?
I'm not blowing your big in this one.
managing it. Kind of.
Look at. You can't.
You're not
managing it.
I'm not blowing your. I'm not blowing your big. I'm not blowing your big in this one.
managing it. Kind of.
Blow up. Come on, sister. Wait. Hey. Set that away input. Look, read this psalm. Read this. Though. Read this. In your unfailing love, silence my enemies, destroy all my foes, for I am your servant. Right? This is our input under the man who try to blow the abeng. We could try your abeng man again. Hey.
I'm not blowing your big in
You're
this
not
one.
managing it. Kind of.
And a child shall lead them.
I'm not doing anything
It's so funny,
insulting.
Jane.
Oh God. Yo. Me tell you say, me tell you, you never believe me. Me tell you say, the man slap with L.A. Lewis thing. The man slap with L.A. Lewis thing clean. Yes, L.A. Lewis, the man, man. No, just for extenuate, yeah, the argument says she's qualified to be a chieftainess. She's qualified because she can blow their bang. And this big man, where them stage, where them put, in my opinion, where them put in a position to foop, 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 foop. I can't blow their bang. Me can't blow their bang. This is so pathetic. We would have the laugh of L.A. Lewis if him do this. But the man actually set up, in my opinion, a man for try blow their bang and then make the little girl blow it. For use that as a reason to oust Mama G. Because she apologized to the Africans them. Where the Maroons them help sell out. Are colonized. Don't think about that, no man. That is how the man I try rub it in or give it to Mama G the way the man upset, you know. The man is so disturbed of what Mama G did that he's using a little girl. And the only thing she know, I am nanny. I am nanny. So what him do? Him tag all them celebrity friend them to help them to vote for her. To help to get her elected, excuse me. All them top celebrity friend them, him tag them. Tag them for help him to elect. Meddling in another sovereign state election. So he's claiming that Mama G was not appointed by the people. But I could talk truth. I could talk truth. Since him go with qualification, let us talk truth. Look on your screen. I could talk truth. Because he is not legit either. If Mama Jean not legit, and Mama Jean was appointed by the Maroons them, not only, well, based on information, the Suriname Maroons them appointed her as queen. So I don't know how he might go against the Maroon body worldwide. But of course, he must have been planned. But look at this. This is the treaty where him live by. Him live by this. Him going to tell you, say, Mama G is not legitimate. Is not a legitimate queen. Right? Is not a legitimate chieftain. Chieftainess, right? Chieftainess. Watch this now. We could go from 8 upon the treaty. 8ly, that if any man shall do any manner of injury to Captain Kodjo, his successor, or any of their people, they shall apply to any commanding officer or magistrate in the neighborhood for justice. And in case Captain Kodjo or any of his people shall do any injury to any whiter person, he shall submit himself or deliver up such offenders to justice. Right? 9thly, if any Negroes shall hereafter run away from their masters or owners and shall fall into the Captain Kodjo's hands, they shall immediately be sent back to the chief magistrate of the next parish where they are taken, and these that bring them are to be satisfied for their trouble as legislature shall appoint. The assembly granted a premium of 30 shillings, 30 pieces of silver. See that? 30 pieces of silver for each fugitive slave returned to his owner by Maroons besides expenses. So, Nanny would have been a part of these people if she was a real person. So how could she be a hero or a heroine? She would be a sellout. Because she didn't work with culture them. Based on the nonsense when them giving a history book. See? 10thly, that all Negroes taken since the raising of this party by Captain Cudjo's people shall immediately be returned. You see this? 11thly, that Captain Cudjo and his successor shall wait on His Excellency or the Commander-in-Chief for the time being every year if thereunto required. So when Captain Currie come down across His Excellency or the Commander-in-Chief, him already not have no form of say to this thing where him always recite, the treaty. Him not have no, him already break the treaty from the fact that him come down across the Commander-in-Chief. Because him supposed to wait. Them supposed to wait upon the Commander-in-Chief or His Excellency to appoint somebody as chief or somebody as ruler. Has he done that? Is it the Governor General who appointed Captain Currie? No. So how comes you are going to point out Mama G's way of getting elected? But you now point out say nobody where the treaty says if you appointed you. You not legit to them to a compound as the status where you hold. Or to the status where you hold. So you can't point finger upon Mama G because you want to take her down because she apologized. It does show we say you want dark youth. Me tell the people them say no. You come for sow seeds of division. You not come for unite. Daniel did not come around and a link with we as a better spirit. You don't have a good spirit, youth. You have a demonic spirit. You have a divide and rule spirit. You have the spirit of the sellout maroons them. That spirit that you have. You have the spirit of taking the little youth them under your wings for do evil things. That are the spirit where you have in my spirit. When I pick up from you. You have a dark, evil spirit. Yeah. 10thly, that all Negroes taken since the raising of this party by the Captain Cudjo's people shall immediately be returned. 12th, the Captain Cudjo during his life and the captain succeeding him and shall have full power to inflict any punishment they think proper for crimes committed by their men among themselves. Death only accepted, in which case, if the captain thinks they deserve death, he shall be obliged to bring them before any justice of the peace, who shall order proceedings on their trial equal to those of other free Negroes. 13th, that Captain Cudjo with his people shall cut clear roads. I wouldn't know that already. This is important. 14th, that 2 white men to be nominated by His Excellency or the Commander-in-Chief for the time being shall constantly live and reside with Captain Cudjo and his successor in order to maintain a friendly correspondence. 15th and lastly, that Captain Cudjo shall, during his life, be chief commander in Trelawney Town. After his decease, the command to devolve to his brother, Captain Akompong. And in case of his death, on his next brother, Captain Johnny. And failing him, Captain Kofi shall succeed, who is to be succeeded by Captain Kwaku. And after all of them dead, after all of their demises, listen this Captain Currie, where point finger, Mama G said the people never elect her. Listen this. After all of them dead, the governor or commander-in-chief for the time being, which is whosoever was in power when them had them vote, or when they wanted a captain or a chief. So the commander in chief or the governor, for the time being, shall appoint from time to time whom he thinks fit for that command. So if Andrew Wellness not see you fit for that position there, you don't count. You don't have no legitimacy to the maroon throne, to the maroon chiefness, or whatever chieftain, or whatever you call it. You don't have no legitimacy, brother. So we point finger upon Mama G because she apologized. Mama G becomes a problem now. She becomes an enemy of the state now because she apologized to her fellow African brothers and sisters. We tell the people in a long time, say, you have a dark demonic spirit. But time will tell. Time will tell. Me tell them, say, you have cause major division among the Maroons. Them. Time will tell. This is not a prophecy. This is just a clear observation on your behavior. You see? Because leopard can't hide them spot. You see? Leopard can't hide them spot. So keep it going, Currie goat. But remember, you don't have no legitimacy to the throne. You don't have no legitimacy. That's the reason why you can't go represent the Maroons them nowhere. Mama G can go because she was appointed by a body. You see? You claim that the people who appointed you. You see? But you know that the treaty say. Andrew Holness have to appoint you or the governor general will represent the queen. The Zaddy them will come the other day will not look for you. The letter reach yet? The letter where you walk from all the way up a compound. Come a New Kingston, come drop off. Like you couldn't make a little bike man come do it because you want excitement and photo apps. And send out video like you do something. Mama G is putting in the real work. And she go meet with the people them around the world where fight for the rights of indigenous people, the rights of indigenous people. We don't see you out there. I do that. You see? So you want to cut off Mama G's mission them where she depend. You see? For fight for women causes. You want to cut out Mama G because you claim that the people appoint her to put a 19-year-old little girl when I have no experience on world issues. That is how dark you are. That is such an evil mind that you have. And it shows how selfish you are just for your personal gain, just for your agenda fulfill. You want to cut out an experienced woman. You see? Not trying to say, you know what can be done to make this thing better. She not keep not on. Maybe could I did reach out to Mama G and look at the things that we're missing and join with her and make she teach you little humility. There could have been little reciprocity where she teach you little humility and you teach her how to keep town hall meetings. Or how to get the people them to vote for her. Since she's a PR person, because I used to work in the government, in the work, yeah, the working system or the working whatever. You see? But time I got tell. Keep showing your hand. You see? Time I tell. May the longest live a see. Big up on yourself, people. Out of here.